Blossom Tales is a really neat Zelda-inspired 16-bit action RPG. And it's so much like Zelda that it kind of feels like a spin-off or something. If you played Zelda A Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo, you probably already know how to play this game for the most part. It's got a number of similar, or even the same mechanics that Link uses in the Zelda Super Nintendo game. Even in the very beginning of the game, there's a funny reference to Zelda. The way the story unfolds is similar to the movie The Princess Bride, if you've seen that, where there's like a grandpa, and he's telling a story to his grandkid, like a bedtime story or whatever. And this grandpa, he slips up when he's telling them this story. He almost tells them the story of Zelda again. And then the kids are like, hey, we've heard this one a million times. We want to hear a new story. So the grandpa's like, oh, okay. Anyways, you play as this girl called Lily. And throughout the game, there's some sort of narrative by the grandpa and the kids on top of the story. And they chip in every now and then with their thoughts, or they'll ask a question, or sometimes they'll even change what's happening. Like, you'll do a battle, and then the grandpa guy, he'll be like, oh, wait a minute. I think that it wasn't like that. No, it was like this. And, it'll change it up, and you gotta do it again. It's kind of cool. It's got that kind of funny sort of fourth wall kind of a bit of humor. Not much, but a little bit. It's kind of nice. It's alright. The gameplay is pretty fun, and it's so easy to tell that this was heavily inspired by the developers' love for 16-bit, the style, and Zelda, of course. You have many of the same weapons and mechanics. There's like a shield for blocking stuff. You got a sword for slicing. You can even hold down the button to charge it up, and you do like a whirlwind attack with it. Although you can have an extra jump after the whirlwind attack in this one. But I never used that attack. I don't know. I never found a need to use it. But it's got other stuff too. You'll find bombs that you can throw at guys, or you can place them wherever, including right in front of an obvious crack in the wall. You'll find a boomerang, just like in Zelda, and a bow. It's pretty cool. There's even a couple of spells, and even some upgrades you can get, like your sword. You can get a couple upgrades to it. One of it makes it so that when you have full health, you'll do this attack, and it'll have a bit of a ranged attack to it. Yeah, they only have that when you have full health. It's pretty much like Zelda. Also, when you're running along looking for stuff, finding secrets and whatever, you can even find heart pieces. And as you probably guessed, you get 4 pieces of a heart to make a full heart, and that gives you an extra heart on your life area. You can extend your magic bar like that too. There's side quests as well as the main quest, or the main story, whatever you want to call it. So I played this entire game from the start to the finish, and it was very enjoyable for the most part. The game has a main campaign, or a main quest, with some side quests as well. But I didn't really do any of the side quests. I was mostly just doing the main quest for the story and that sort of a thing. I did get one or two of the quests, though, the little side quests, and they gave me some cool items. But for the most part, almost all of these side quests are like a fetch quest, where you have to bring items back. But they weren't that bad, though, because the items you're bringing back, you're just picking them up anyways with guys you're fighting. So with these ones, you really just have to kind of remember, where you got the quest from. Because the map is kind of big, and trying to remember exactly where all these guys are can be a little bit hard to remember. I didn't remember. That's why I only got 1 or 2 of them. I didn't go looking for the other guys or anything, but, I just happened to walk by and I gave them the items they needed. So that was cool. The game description says the game is 15 hours long, but I was able to complete the game in just shy of 6 hours, probably 5.9. And I only got lost for maybe 40 minutes or so. Lost or stuck. Sometimes you get stuck on a puzzle. But yeah, I only probably about 40 minutes worth of screwing around. The rest just, blazing through it. And it was good fun. I really like this. But I think that if you go exploring and you try and do the side quests and you go and you talk to everybody, you may, maybe you get stuck in a puzzle or two. Maybe you'll get 10 or 11 hours out of this game. Visually, the game is pretty nice to look at. It's got this really cool 16-bit art. It's colorful and really well done. Similar to Zelda, but different, so it has its own unique look. The characters and the monsters are all pretty cool looking, and everything fits the theme and style of the game very well. The music is a mix of okay-ish music all the way up to very nice music, and the sound effects fit everything really nicely too. There's a variety of different zones, or I don't know if you want to call them biomes, that you go through, like frozen wastelands. There's a fire and lava area. There's forests, swamps. There's castles, caves. You know, the usual mix. But there's they mix them up well enough. The map is it seems small at first, but like a lot of it's sort of hidden. It'll open up as you're going along. You'll unlock all the rest of it as you're exploring and trying to find your way around, or when you get lost or whatever. It's pretty big, way bigger than you think it would be. The first castle I was in was getting a little bit frustrated with the first castle because I just kept going and going. I did puzzle after puzzle, and I'm just going room after room, and it's like, where's the end of this thing? And then suddenly I got to a boss, and I was like, I was so relieved because I was able to fight a boss and not just be wandering through a castle finally. But the thing is, that wasn't the boss. That was the mini boss. I was only halfway through this castle. It was way bigger. So, you know, these castles are pretty big, some of them. The first one was the biggest one. It felt a little bit too long, actually. But the other ones weren't as bad, so... You know, you only have to suffer through that first castle once, I guess. And it's alright. It's an alright castle. It's cool. It's just so long. But you get 2 boss battles in it, so that's kind of cool. So for the puzzles, there was a number of different styles of puzzles. There was the pipe ones, where you connect a pipe to move something from one thing through the pipe to the other part. There was the combo switch puzzles, where you have like various things, and you have to switch them so they have this right combination, like a combination lock almost. There's the push block puzzles, where you push a block and it goes sliding forever until it hits a wall. Then you can push it another way until it hits a wall. Those ones. And they had ones where you have to clear the spaces of the tiles underneath you as you're walking along, where you have to clear every single space. You can't miss any, so you have to, you know, figure out the right path to get through it. And if you misstep, it resets the whole puzzle. So those ones are a little bit tricky. I actually didn't have any trouble with them, though, but I mean, usually they're tricky. They also had some of those memory-style puzzles as well, I just remembered. They're the ones where you, like, it'll do, like, 1, 3, 2, and you gotta hit 1, 3, 2. And then there'll be, like, 2, 2, 1, 4, and then you gotta, you know, go 2, 2, 1, 4, and then it'll be, like, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, and then you hit, like, 2, 2, 1, and you press the wrong thing, and it resets, and you gotta do a different one, so... It's got those ones too. Those ones are probably the trickiest. The memory ones there. I didn't find most of the puzzles very hard. I think maybe only 2 of them I never got stuck on the puzzles, but I was sort of... had to put in a bit of thinking. I had to sort of, had to try it a few times. But all in all, the puzzles were actually fairly decent, and nothing too hard. So as for the monsters that you'll come across in your adventures, there's an alright number of monster types. I kind of wish there was maybe a couple more, or maybe a variation on each one or something, just to change it up a little bit more. But it was okay. It didn't feel overly repetitive or anything like that. It was spaced out well enough. It was a good enough sort of mixture of everything. The boss fights were all pretty fun. I really enjoyed the boss fights. They were all fairly unique. None of them felt like the same. The end boss was really fun. I had a lot of fun with that end boss. He was pretty tough, that guy. He has a lot of different attack styles, that guy. It was good, though. I liked it. And when I was playing this, I was using a controller, the Xbox One controller, because I tend to love using a controller when I'm playing these kinds of games. Especially, like, on my Steam Link, sitting on my couch. That is so awesome. So yeah, I'd probably recommend a controller, but you can play with mouse and keyboard if you don't have one. So I would probably recommend this to anyone who enjoyed Zelda: A Link to the Past. If you like that game, I guarantee you'll like this game. Or maybe anyone who likes a good action RPG, because that's what this is. It's a good action RPG. Especially if you like the pixel art sort of thing. If you're into the 16-bit style, I think you'll probably like this. This game is an easy 8 out of 10. And I really hope to see another Blossom Tale game someday, because I noticed this is called Blossom Tale, The Sleeping King. But I mean, they could have Blossom Tale and then some other subtitle and have another game, you know, with the same character or something. That'd be cool. I'd play that. And maybe you could even have it like the same thing. The grandpa read the grandkids another story or something. I don't know. I would totally play that. It would be so fun. Anyways, though, that's Blossom Tales, The Sleeping King. Very nice game. 8 out of 10. Check it out. Well, thanks for watching this review video. If you like these kind of videos, if you like reviews of cool indie games or whatever, maybe give this channel a subscribe. This is a new channel I've started only for review videos like this, where it's a more in-depth review of game that I probably played through to completion or something like that. And yeah, it'll be this style of a video. If you like that kind of a thing, make sure you give it a subscribe there so you'll know when the next one comes out. And give it a thumbs up if you want, or a thumbs down if you want, I guess. But, I don't know, leave a comment or something, I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. There'll be more of these reviews coming soon. I have no idea what for, but we'll see. I'll find something. I'll find something cool. Anyways, have a good one, everybody. We'll see you later.